Welcome to Dave's Take. Today we're talking about The Wild Robot, the latest film from DreamWorks Animation. So The Wild Robot is about a wild robot. This robot falls from the sky, is on an island filled with creatures and nature and all that type of stuff, and the robot has to do some things. I'll kind of leave it at that, even though if you watch the trailer, you kind of understand what this movie really is about. And that is what makes this movie great. I loved The Wild Robot. This is one of the best movies of the year that I've seen so far. It's one of the better DreamWorks movies I think I've ever seen. I first want to talk about the animation because it's fantastic. It's beautiful, it's unique, and I love how DreamWorks kind of has this different style of animation. I guess with like Pixar, every Pixar movie, you know it's a Pixar movie. And it's no bash on Pixar because Pixar is normally the best at that stuff. But DreamWorks, it seems like they have their style, but every once in a while they'll kind of go off script and make a new type of style of animation that looks great. And that's the case with The Wild Robot. This is a beautifully animated movie with lots of colors, lots of unique elements, and it was just great to look at. But this movie was just so much fun with a lot of heart and really emotional moments because this movie is really about motherhood and going against how you're programmed or what's in your DNA and finding out who you really are. And it's a beautiful message that I think is portrayed wonderfully in this movie with a story that is engaging, a lot of fun, heartfelt, and just, like I said, a great time. This movie's also very funny. Some jokes that made me laugh out loud and some dark humor too. This movie has some elements that are a little fucked up, honestly, but they kind of poke fun of it. It's just the idea of like nature, the circle of life, everything like that. They poke fun of that stuff, and it's really funny. Like I said, it's pretty dark. But there's this element to the film that they kind of push your typical kids movie that makes the movie feel a little bit more mature with some of its themes and some of the things that our characters have done. And it was just great to see that there was nothing holding this film back. The movie has elements that feel mature, and the movie isn't scared to really express those elements, and I really appreciate that. All the voice acting is great because by the end of the movie, when you're watching the credits, you see who's all in the movie. It's like unrecognizable. There's some that are a little recognizable, but overall, that's why I feel like voice acting is done really well, is when you can't even tell who is portraying those voices. They do a great job, and it really elevates some of the moments in this movie. I love how this film likes to visualize everything. Like for a while, there isn't any dialogue. There's no human characters here. And the film has to show us visually what's going on, what our characters are trying to do, and sometimes it's hard to pull off, and they do it great here. And as the film progresses, it gets more emotional, it'll tug on your heartstrings, and I feel like it's executed so well that there is so much payoff there. There's some great character development. This is an absolutely wonderful film. I guess the only issue I have with it is at the end, the final act, some things get a little bit sloppy. And there's one character introduction that happens at the way end of the movie, and there's some things that feel a little shoehorned in. And like I said, that can make the final act feel a little sloppy. But it doesn't affect the payoff that this movie's going for, the message, because it's all done wonderfully. It's a beautifully animated movie that's a lot of fun, that has something to say, that I think anyone will enjoy. It feels a little more mature, and I can say it's probably one of the best DreamWorks movies that they've made. I'm going to give The Wild Robot 9 Davey Daves. Definitely go check this film out if you're a fan of animation or just really solid movies that will maybe make you cry. Go see The Wild Robot. So, The Wild Robot. Let me know what you guys thought of it once you've seen it. I'm curious to hear. And thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.